Hello, hello, hello. I'm back again. Your the real Bill Real. Excuse the hoarseness of my voice. I got into a bit of a screaming match with my television a few nights ago, watching my beloved Buccaneers get robbed by the referees. Anyway, the reason for the day's video is to shed a little light on a unknown fact. And that is big receivers accomplish very little in the NFL. I know that may be hard to believe from some people who seem to have the GM's mentality, where they look at these wide receivers and they develop what we football fans like to term a man crush. They say, "Ooh, look at his physical. He's 6'5". He's 215. He runs a 4.45." It is news. Those guys don't accomplish anything in the NFL. That may work for you in the NBA. I'm just going to take a couple minutes and break it down. I promise you I won't take all day. Let's just go back over the last 10 years, okay? And we can just take a look at all of the teams that have been able to win a Super Bowl. I hate to put them in there, but last year the New England Cheaters were able to win the Super Bowl. If you take a look at the roster of the Patriots, you will see that there was not one wide receiver on last year's squad that stood taller than 6'1" and weighed more than 192 pounds. I know most of you will not believe this, but I'm pretty sure after you do a quick Google search and under Super Bowl winning teams, you will begin to see that what I'm telling you is true. I have spoken about this before, but the reason for this is quite simple. I will break it down for you. NFL teams go after defensive backs that are fast, that are nimble, and who can jump really high. These defensive backs, and usually safeties and cornerbacks, they are normally no bigger than about 5'11" on average. If you catch one that's 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", he's a rarity. Okay? As what's the boy that came out of Michigan? What's his name? God dog. Woodson. Woodson was the exception to the rule, because I think Woodson was about 6'2", 6'3", but just had mercurial athletic abilities. Getting back to the point. The New England Patriots, they've been known throughout their infamous run of stealing Super Bowls, because I don't call that winning when you have to go through that much to win a game. They've always had small wide receivers. Deion Branch, Troy Brown, you name it. All the guys are small. They don't have any big wide receivers. Other NFL teams need to pay attention to this. Just that. Not stealing signals and being able to have speakers and in the helmets of the quarterback and jamming and all this. Not any of that. We're just talking about a coach who has been able to win and has been able to get his guys open. Okay, whether or not the quarterback was throwing with a deflated ball or not. As we do know, in the NFL, it is a game of inches. And if you are open by inches, that could mean the difference between you catching the ball, running in for a touchdown, catching the ball, making a first down, or many different things. Many different possibilities exist if the guy's able to run away from you. It could all be bad for the opposing team's defense. I think anybody with common sense will agree on this. Let's go back the year before that. Seattle Seahawks. They had, what's his name, Golden Tate. Golden Tate's probably about 5'9". Okay, he's about 185 pounds, something like that. Maybe 190, maybe on a good day. I'm not even sure. They had another guy, some other little light-skinned guy or whatever. He ended up catching the pass. They ended up sending him to the Super Bowl again. So I don't know, but he's small. He's another small guy. He's about 5'10", maybe 5'11", maybe. And he's about 190 pounds. Okay. Let's go to the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, they had Anquan Boldin when they won the Super Bowl. Anquan Boldin is about 5'10". He's about 194 pounds. Maybe 200 on a good day. Maybe he's really eating a lot. Okay, he was a very big part of that win. Okay. And the other wide receiver that they had, he was actually bigger, and he played well, but he wasn't the go-to guy. They threw the ball to him and kind of got lucky. All right, I forget. That was the guy whose brother died during the year, whatnot. But he was about 6'2" or so, whatever. Let's go to the Giants, the team that the New England Patriots could not cheat out of a victory, no matter what they did. The New York Giants, they had Steve Smith. Most people don't realize it, but Steve Smith did all the work. Plaxico Barris in the Super Bowl, I think maybe caught 3 passes. Maybe. Okay? This is a 6'5" wide receiver. The one that the GMs go crazy over. Caught 1 pass. That was the touchdown. Okay. Let's go to the Green Bay Packers. Jennings, Driver, Nelson, all of those guys, the same body style. 5'10", 187, 190 something pound wide receivers who run around and they run away from you. And that's the reason why they're wide open. Okay? I think you begin to see where I'm going with this. Before that, we had the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints were throwing to nothing but small wide receivers. Okay? In fact, they ended up getting rid of Jimmy Graham because they were not able to win any Super Bowls with him. He was just too damn big. They let him go to the Seattle Seahawks. And they went and got other wide receivers, small wide receivers. Okay. The Arizona Cardinals, they had Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald was 6'5", maybe 210, something like that, whatever. They did cheat the Arizona Cardinals in that Super Bowl. But if you look at Santonio Holmes, and I forget the other one, they had another wide receiver. I think he was a little bit taller than Santonio Holmes, but he was very skinny. Okay, so I think you understand where I'm going with this. The New York Giants, in 2008, they had Steve Smith again. Okay, Steve Smith did all the dirty work. That's who Eli was able to throw the ball to and have such a good completion percentage to. Okay. The Indianapolis Colts, when they beat the Chicago Bears, who did they have? They had Marvin Harrison. They had Reggie Wayne. Those two guys, same body style. 190 pounds. Reggie Wayne, I think, 6 foot. Marvin Harrison was like 5'10". You get what I'm saying to you? Okay? We're talking about the teams that won it all. We're not talking about playoff teams. We're talking about the teams that proved that they had what it took. Then you had the Pittsburgh Steelers. They cheated the hell out of the Seattle Seahawks. That game was deplorable. It was officiated in such a horrible way. That game alone was enough to make people just totally be done with professional football. Okay. I'm at a loss for the right wide receivers that played in that game, but I promise you they weren't big. I promise you. New England Patriots against the Eagles. T.O. Big T.O. Did T.O. get off in that Super Bowl? Not at all. What happened? They put little small DBs and corners and stuff on and safeties on him, and he couldn't outrun them. Okay? And plus they were being cheated by the Patriots. The Patriots knew all their calls, and they were recording the practices and stuff, and was jamming the signals in the Super Bowl. Okay? So that's how they were winning. The New England Patriots won the year before. They cheated also. And they were able to win the game against the Carolina Panthers. They had Muhsin Muhammad. He was about 6. Actually, I think he was about 6'2". No, about 6 foot. All right, he was about 6 foot, maybe about 190. And then they had Steve Smith. Now, the Carolina Panthers lost, but I'm just making the point of they got to the Super Bowl with rather small receivers, okay? Now, notice that none of these teams that I'm talking about had big receivers that were able to get it done. The New England Patriots, before then, that was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, my Bucks, against the Oakland Raiders. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to win the game because they had the advantage of knowing all of the plays of the Oakland Raiders. And if you notice, in that game, Keenan McCardell caught the majority of the passes. Keyshawn Johnson had to catch passes that were down at the ground. He had to slide and catch them and all that kind of crap. So that means he had no yards after the catch. Keyshawn Johnson was basically ineffective in that Super Bowl. He did very little in that game. Okay, and I think anybody with any type of football IQ knows that. The year before that, the New England Patriots were able to cheat the St. Louis Rams out of a Super Bowl and were able to win their first. That was in the 2002 one. And as you do know, Oz Hakeem, Torrey Holt, Bruce, all these guys are the same size. Okay? In fact, Oz Hakeem was like 5'9" or something like that. 5'9", 5'10" maybe. But they were all 190-pound guys. I don't need to go over any more Super Bowls with you. I just went over the last 12 or so Super Bowls. And I think you will see that big receivers do not accomplish anything in the Super Bowl. Okay? They may be able to get you to the playoffs, but it's a war of attrition. If you have a 6'5", 200 and some pound guy, by the time he puts on his helmet and pads, now that guy is an extra 25 pounds heavier. So if he's running up against a guy who's shorter than him and who's lighter than him, who's going to win? Who's going to be able to outlast who? The smaller guy will. The smaller guy can run away from a bigger guy. It's common sense. So all of you GMs drafting big wide receivers, cut it out. Unless you want to throw a bunch of jump balls. And even if you throw a bunch of jump balls, you're going to be throwing jump balls against guys that are on the team because they can jump. Okay? Almost all DBs, cornerbacks, and safeties are all what we call black people. They can jump. Okay? Last time I checked, they can jump really high. Last time I checked, 5'5", 5'6" guys, black guys can dunk. Yeah, they can dunk a basketball. So I don't see why you want to shoot yourself in the foot by going and drafting a guy that's 6'5", 200 plus pounds. Unless he can lose a significant amount of weight, and unless he's running a 4.1, you just wasted your money. And you've just shot yourself in the foot. And you've just sunk your running game. Because nobody's paying attention to your passing game if they know that their DB and cornerback can run with your wide receiver. It's simple. Take a look at all of the teams who sputter year after year. They're probably run by a GM who has this man crush, who watches the games every Sunday saying, ooh, look at that big 6'5" receiver I drafted. Yeah, but what is he producing? Can he get open? Can he make plays consistently? No. Show me one big wide receiver who takes over a game. Don't even say Calvin Johnson. Don't even say it. He doesn't take over games. No, he doesn't. Go show me a game he took over. You can't. If he catches a pass, he's lucky to catch it. And I'm taking nothing away from him. He is an excellent wide receiver. But if you want to reach the pinnacle, if you want to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, your guys, meaning your wide receivers, they have to be able to get open. In the NFL, which is a game of inches, this is the truth. I'm through taking up your time. Please leave your comments at the bottom. I welcome all, debates, comments, whatever the heck you want to say. That's fine. I figured I'd discuss something very important today, So it was good talking with you with my hoarse voice and all. And I'll talk with you later. Peace.